What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Johnson's Court. Today, I'm super excited to be bringing you a new episode in my new place, and we get to talk about the NFL season. The 2022-2023 season is about to kick off tomorrow, Thursday night, and we're super excited, and we've been without football for the past 6-7 months, and we can finally start betting on football again if you're of age and if your state carries it, and we're ready to watch games. We're ready to get underway and just see what everyone did during this offseason and the draft, and practice and training camp, and see where they are now with the new additions they made, because there are a lot of new additions that were made to each team, especially with quarterback play this year, wide receivers, star wide receivers going to different places. So as you can see, I'm wearing my Colts shirt. We're representing the Colts out here, getting their first win this Sunday, hopefully. But we're also, to dive into this episode, we're going to talk about what teams that missed the playoffs last year can make it this year. And then I don't know if you guys saw or other reports coming out on Bleacher Report, ESPN, things like that, that the NCAA has agreed to come to a 12-team college football playoff format. Now, this is super exciting, not only for me, but for all the other football fans out there that are able to watch their team, possibly have more of a chance at, competing for the national championship and then not being the same 4 teams every single year. So I feel like that's really where we were running into the problem. And the NCAA knew that. And plus also, this way they're going to make more money. Bowl games are not just, it's a bowl game, whatever. Where players aren't going to play. You play in a bowl game to hopefully play in the national championship to keep moving on. So we're going to break it down what it looked like last year, and what your team could have been seeded 1 through 12 and what their path would have been to get to the national championship game. So, and then at the very end, we're going to talk about the regular season record, just what I did last year with Mr. Beagle. He's not here today, unfortunately. He's in PA doing his thing, living out there. But hopefully we can Zoom next time or chat, and we'll be able to, get his picks and my picks at the same time. And, you guys will be able to hear both of us. But I do have his picks written down here, and then I'm going to do my picks as well. And we're going to see who has a better record last year. Last year, I had the better record, just by a game or two. So it was really, really close. It wasn't like a blowout or anything like that. So we're definitely going to see what's going to happen and what this season holds and what's in store. So we're going to go ahead and start with the 12-team college football playoffs. Now this will become as early as 2024 if everything gets set in stone, but if not, it will start in 2026. So a few years away, actually not very far away, and that's super exciting, like I said, to get 12 teams instead of 4 teams. So we're going to look at it of what it looked like last year. I've got it written down here on my notebook. And to start out at number 12, it was Pittsburgh. They would have been the number 12 seed with Mr. Kyle Pickett. And they would have placed the 5 seed, the Georgia Bulldogs. Out of that game, whoever would have won would have came down and faced Baylor at the number 4 seed. Then number 8 seed and the 9 seed, which are in the same bracket, you've got Ole Miss being the 8 seed, and number 9, you've got Oklahoma State. Whoever would have won that game would come down and play Alabama, and whoever won that game would then, so say it was Alabama that won and Baylor won, then they would play, and then whoever wins that game would be in the national championship instead of just 1 and 4 playing each other. Now we go to the other side of the bracket, and it is 11 versus 6. It would be Utah versus Notre Dame. Whoever wins that game would come down and face Cincinnati at number 3. Then we have number 10, Michigan State, facing Ohio State, number 7. Whoever wins that game would then come down and face number 2 and would have faced Michigan. So that's a Big Ten matchup there. They're very exciting and very competitive, like they are all year long. Then whoever wins that game between Michigan and that team and Cincinnati and that team would then go and play. And then whoever wins that game plays the national championship. So it adds more games by number 12 and 5 plays. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 games there. Whoever wins that game comes down and plays Michigan, comes down and plays Cincy. So there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 more games being played before the national championship. So that's super exciting, and we love to hear that, because it just, like I said, it's more football we get to watch, more football we get to bet on. And, your team has more of a chance. Say you lose one game and then you're like, oh no, we're out of it. because normally top 4 teams don't even lose a single game, and if they do lose a game, then maybe they still have a chance to get in depending on their record and what the committee picks. So to see this is very exciting, and I love what the future holds. Please comment what you guys think below. I think it's a fantastic idea, and I bet you guys probably do too. And tell me what your team is, what your favorite team is, if your team could have potentially made it in the college football playoffs last year, and where you think they would have, how far they would have gotten. Now, with that being said, college football is done with. We're going straight into the NFL. We're moving on to the big boy stuff here. Now, I'm going to talk about which teams that missed the playoffs last year are going to be able to make it this year. So with that being said, I have a list of teams right here who missed the playoffs last year. And those teams are the Detroit Lions, the Baltimore Ravens, the Los Angeles Chargers, the Miami Dolphins, the Cleveland Browns, the Seattle Seahawks, the Indianapolis Colts, the Chicago Bears, Jacksonville Jaguars, Denver Broncos, Atlanta Falcons, Minnesota Vikings, the Washington Commanders. I can't believe I just said that. I mean, that is their name now, but you guys know. The Houston Texans, the New York Jets, the Carolina Panthers, the New York Giants, and the New Orleans Saints. Now that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 teams that did not make the playoffs last year. So with that being said, that means if I think any of these teams are going to make the playoffs this year, then some teams won't make the playoffs that made it last year. With that being said, I think the Los Angeles Chargers make the playoffs this year. I think the Miami Dolphins make the playoffs this year. I know I did a podcast earlier saying who I thought was going to make it, so I have to go back and look at that. But just basing off here, I also think the Indianapolis Colts will make it in. So I think 3 teams that did not make it last year off of this are going to make it this year. And that's just in the AFC alone. Now, if we go to the NFC, I believe that the Denver Broncos are going to make it in with getting the addition of Russell Wilson. And I believe the New Orleans Saints will make it in the playoffs with Jameis Winston having his famous eye surgery. And then potentially the Minnesota Vikings as well. So I could see 3 different teams from each division making it in there. What do you guys think? I did name them all. I mean, does anybody think the Detroit Lions can? I mean, do we have any Detroit Lions fans out there, guys? I know we've got some Bears fans out there. We've, got Mr. Beagle. I've got a lot of, fans out there, Labo, Dennis, Thud, everybody like that. Do you guys think they make the playoffs this year, or do you think they're still in rebuild mode? And, just give your opinion on here, guys. Absolutely. With that being said, we're going to dive right into it. We're going to dive into the last segment, which is always my favorite segment. Let me pull it up here. The games of the week. Starting off the NFL season right and correct is tomorrow night, Thursday at 8:20 p.m. I know I'll be watching a game. I know millions of Americans around the United States and around the world will be watching this as well. It is the Buffalo Bills facing the defending Super Bowl champions, the LA Rams. At 8:20 p.m., the Bills are on a road game to start. The Rams are at home in Las Vegas. So, man, I feel like this is going to be a great game. I feel like right out of the gate, this is a good scheduled game. Everyone's going to be watching. I think they're really going to perform. I know that Rams defense got even better. That offense got better as well. But, the Bills were like, let's see, guys. I'm barely touching my fingers together. That close to making it to the Super Bowl last year with losing to the Chiefs in the round that they did. Going back and forth, scoring so many points in like a minute 30, just going back and forth. So they're right there. I know they have the capability. A lot of people have the Bills winning the Super Bowl this year, and let's see if they can get it done. But first, they need to start off on the right foot. The Bills need to win the first game of the year, and I think that's going to happen. I think the Buffalo Bills come out strong, and they beat the defending champions, the LA Rams. Now, like I said, this game is going to be a good game. I believe that the Rams are going to put up a hell of a fight, and I think, Josh Allen and the Bills are going to have an answer for the Rams, and I believe the Bills are going to come out on top and get the first win of the season, and that's how Thursday night is going to happen, and that's how it's going to roll. Then you move on to Sunday at 1 p.m. Our very first 1 p.m. game that we have are the Philadelphia Eagles playing the Detroit Lions. Now, for me, basically, this is a pretty easy decision here just because I know the Lions are never very good. But, with Jared Goff being there, the way that they're building their organization and whatnot, maybe they'll surprise us more than what we think. But as of right now, I've got the Philadelphia Eagles winning that game. I think Jalen Hurts plays well this year. Everybody they went and got A.J. Brown from the Tennessee Titans. So to see the Eagles, I think they're going to fly high this year. I think they're going to soar, and they're going to do very well in their division and in the NFC. Next, you've got the 49ers playing the Chicago Bears, happening at 1 p.m. as well. You got the 49ers. They decided to re-sign Jimmy G, and not a lot of people thought that. A lot of people thought Trey Lance was going to step up and be that next guy, and I still think he is, but Jimmy G is still going to be there for right now. But the Bears are in rebuild mode, and I just don't believe that the Bears are going to start off on the right foot. I think, they're going to take a few steps backwards before they can take a few steps forward. So I've got the 49ers winning that game right there. Now, through the first 3 games, let's see if Beagle and I are together or if we separate anywhere. So actually, we separate right off the bat. He's got the Rams winning the very first game. He's got the Eagles winning the second game, so we're tied there. And then I've got the 49ers winning. He's got the Bears winning, which makes sense. He's a Bears fan. I'm not really surprised by that pick whatsoever. Then you've got the Pittsburgh Steelers playing the Cincinnati Bengals. This is a division game right off the bat, game 1. You got Mitchell Trubisky starting for the Steelers, which isn't a horrible quarterback coming from the Bears. He's a lot better than what a lot of people think he is, and I think he has a lot to prove, and I think he will prove to a lot of people what he's capable of. But you're placing the Cincinnati Bengals, the team that was in the Super Bowl last year, who almost won the Super Bowl, and then the Rams scored that touchdown late in the fourth quarter, I believe, and won the game. But I'm going with the Bengals here. But I think this will be a good divisional game. And, whether the Steelers win that first game or lose their first game, they have a lot of upside to them this year. Next, at 1 p.m., you've got the New England Patriots coming in and playing the Miami Dolphins. Now, this is a division rivalry game as well in the AFC East. The Patriots are who they are with Bill Belichick, but then, with Mac Jones last year and being able to come in being a rookie and play as well as he did. But the Miami Dolphins got better as well. They've got Tyreek Hill. I think Tua, has a breakout season this year. I think the Dolphins are turning it around, and I think we'll see them go in the right direction. So I believe that the Miami Dolphins are going to win this game, and I think it'll be a close game, being a divisional game. I think maybe, I don't know what the spread is, but they probably win by like 7 or 7.5 or something like that. Beagle also has the Dolphins winning as well. Then at 1 o'clock, you have the Cleveland Browns facing the Carolina Panthers. Now, both of these teams have completely different quarterbacks. The Browns have Deshaun Watson, and the Carolina Panthers have Baker Mayfield. Now, they've still got Sam Darnold over there, but the starter for that week is going to be Baker Mayfield, and Deshaun Watson is not playing right now. Got itch on my shoulder because of the allegations that he went through and then the suspension that he had. So that's really going to hurt the Browns a lot, and I think every team that plays the Browns are going to capitalize on that. So I believe the Panthers are going to win that game. And let's see, does Beagle have the Panthers winning? Yes, he does. So we agree there. Then at 1 o'clock as well, you've got the Indianapolis Colts playing the Houston Texans, where it's a road game for us, but we should be completely fine. The Houston Texans didn't get too much better over the offseason, but we did. We got Matt Ryan, Matty Ice. I'm super excited to see what he can do with the Colts, and our defense is really good as well. So I think this is a pretty easy win for the Colts. I don't know if they're going to beat the spread or whatnot, but I've got a money line for sure. Then you come in and you have the New Orleans Saints playing the Atlanta Falcons. So we actually have a lot of division games like right out of the gate with, week 1 coming already at us at 1 p.m. The Falcons aren't too bad. They got Marcus Mariota, but they're still young, still developing, things like that. Like I said, with New Orleans Saints, Jameis Winston come back from eye surgery. Michael Thomas will come back this year from, I think it's ankle surgery or Achilles surgery, something like that. But I think the Saints are going to shock a lot of us this year, and I believe the Saints are going to win this game. Let's see. Beagle has the Colts winning and the Saints winning, so we agree there. Then we got the Ravens coming in and playing the New York Jets at 1 p.m. Now, my thoughts on this game right here is Lamar Jackson, I don't know what he's going to do. Is he going to hold? He's in his final year of his rookie contract. Is he going to hold out for a new deal? What's going to happen with him? Because they can franchise tag him at the end of this year and next year. So if I was him, I'm waiting for a new contract. If that's the case, then I'm going New York Jets all day, baby, even though I don't work for the New York Jets. But, I want to be right when it comes to these picks. So I believe the New York Jets will win. Especially with naming the starter of Joe Flacco, who used to be on the Baltimore Ravens. And was able to get in the Super Bowl a few years ago with Ray Lewis facing the 49ers. But if Lamar Jackson plays, I think the Ravens have that on lock, don't get me wrong. But I don't know if he's going to play or not, so I'm going to the New York Jets. This pick could screw me over, could set me a few picks back because Beagle's going with the Ravens, which, like I said, if Lamar Jackson's playing, then I understand why he went with that pick. Then you got the Jacksonville Jaguars coming in and playing the Washington Commanders. Now, with these two teams, I don't really know what to expect with Carson Wentz now being on the Washington Commanders, going from the Philadelphia Eagles to the Colts. Now the Washington Commanders didn't do what we thought he was going to do with the Colts. So, we shipped him. And the Jacksonville Jaguars are, got better in the offseason with some picks and things like that and some key injury players coming back. And Trevor Lawrence, didn't have a great season as he did last year, but with a coach, that whole situation with everything going on in Jacksonville, I think last year was just a huge learning curve for everybody in that organization. So I think this year they'll definitely do a little bit better. But if I had to pick, I think the Washington Commanders are going to win that game. And Beagle actually has the Commanders winning that game as well. I don't know his thought process behind that. If, he's got thinks the same thing as the Jacksonville Jaguars and just don't, they haven't shown us enough to be like, okay, I know that I'm going to go with them. I think that they're not the underdogs in this game. Then our first 425 game of the year is the Green Bay Packers playing the Minnesota Vikings. Now that's an NFC North showdown. Now this division could go either way with Aaron Rodgers losing his top wide receiver, Devontae Adams, going to the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, with the Minnesota Vikings, you still got Kirk Cousins, Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen. That team has really stayed the same for the past few years. So, with this starting out, I think that, Aaron Rodgers knows how to play ball. He can do what he's going to do. But he did talk about in training camp about his receivers are dropping passes and things like that. So, from reports going on like that, I personally we've got the Minnesota Vikings winning this game. Now, the Packers can win this game, don't get me wrong, because it's Aaron Rodgers. But Beagle has the Packers winning that game, so we're different there. And going on to the next game at 425, you got the New York Giants playing the Tennessee Titans. Now, this, without a doubt, I believe the Tennessee Titans will win. With Derrick Henry coming back from injury, playing pretty healthy. Yeah, they lost A.J. Brown, but the New York Giants are the New York Giants. Yeah, they're getting Saquon Barkley back, but they haven't really done too much. They still got Daniel Jones. I just kind of like New York Jets. They haven't shown me enough to be like, I know that I can pick them. Now, if they win this game, I know it's definitely an upset. It's definitely an underdog, but that's just what it's going to be. Then at 425, you got the Las Vegas Raiders playing the Los Angeles Chargers, which is freaking crazy. That's, like I said, that's another division that is a toss-up this year. And with this going on, the Chargers can win this game. The Raiders can win this game. Derek Carr and Devontae Adams were teammates back in the day in college at, I don't know what college they went to. I want to say Fresno State, but I feel like that's wrong. But anyways, I think the Chargers win this game. And I think this will be a close game. I think this will be decided by 3 points or less. Beagle has the Titans winning. Yep, and so do I. And then he's got the Chargers winning as well. And then at 425, you got the Kansas City Chiefs coming in and visiting the Arizona Cardinals. Now, this is a road game for the Chiefs. It's a big road test, not having Tyreek Hill anymore. But they got Juju Smith-Schuster. I said his last name wrong. But anyways, you guys know who he is. And maybe Patrick Mahomes can really turn him into a great wide receiver that we know that he, because he's pretty average. But you can't count out Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. But I think the Arizona Cardinals get it done with Kyle Murray getting a new deal and everything. DeAndre Hopkins, I think he's coming back, maybe not week 1, but pretty soon. But I think the Cardinals being in their home stadium, I think they get it done and beat the Chiefs. Beagle has the Chiefs winning that game. So that pick, again, we are different on. Then our first Sunday night game of the year, Miss Carrie Underwood singing it for us. I've got that song in my head right now. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Tom Brady coming out of retirement, going for another ring, because why not? What else does he have to prove? Is playing the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I believe they played last year, I want to say. I don't know if it was the opening game or not, but I feel like they played a night game. And I think the Buccaneers were able to win, able to pull it out at the last minute, but it was a high-scoring game. And I think the same thing is going to happen again. But with that being said, I think, I'm going to have to go with the Bucs because I'm going to trust experience over Dak Prescott, and Zeke hasn't been producing lately, past few years, and they lost Amari Cooper as well. So, their defense is pretty good, but, we'll just see, with the experience of Tom Brady. I think the Bucs definitely get that done. But that's going to be a great game, high-scoring game as well. bet the over. Then on Monday Night Football, the night that you've all been waiting for because it's the last game of the week and you're like, man, I want one more day of football. Here it is. The Denver Broncos are coming in and playing the Seattle Seahawks, one of the hardest places to play because of their attendance, of their fans, of the 12th man. So can the Denver Broncos get it done? Can Russell Wilson, playing his former team, get his first win of the season against Pete Carroll? I think it can happen personally, with the experience of Russell Wilson, what he's able to do. He's going to make his receivers better. He's going to make everybody just perform at a high level. And, Russell Wilson over Geno Smith. And I think Russell Wilson's going to win that matchup all day long. So I think the Broncos don't have anything to worry about. But I think it's probably still a close game, win by 7 or maybe 10. So in that 7 to 10 range for sure. But that's it, guys. That is every single game that I've predicted, Beagle has predicted. I'm going to count up, on Chipotle for dinner, It's gas. Anyways, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We differ on 6 different games. 6 different games. So, I could be up by 6. I could be up by 2. He could be up by 2. He could be up by 4. He could even be up by 6. I don't really know how it's going to go. But we'll just see when the season happens. I think week 1 is always the hardest to bet. Money line, especially if the team didn't really stay the same or if it got new because you just don't know what they're capable of. I know preseason, obviously. I don't even really take that into consideration because the QBs only play for the first quarter, maybe the second quarter, or just the first half, and then you have the backups come in and things like that, and not everybody's healthy and whatnot. So regular season starts tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, and that's when we'll see the true test of when everything's coming out. But not until midseason is when teams are really getting into it. But first game, first week, NFL is back, guys, and I'm super excited to bring it to you. I hope you guys watch this podcast and, give your picks below. What do you guys think is going to happen this NFL season? Anything can happen, We'll, in later episodes, talk about who's, on track to win MVP, who's on track to win Offense Player of the Year, Defense Player of the Year, Coach of the Year, and depending on, how far we get, will one team stay undefeated the entire time? Or will that not happen? We don't know. We'll see. It's going to be a crazy season, 2022, 2023 season. We're excited to be here. We're excited to be back. I know you guys are as much. So thank you guys so much for watching this episode. Like I said, hopefully Beagle can, we can Zoom, FaceTime, do something like that because it just doesn't feel the same without him. So shout out to my guy Beagle. Hopefully we can get you back on the podcast, my guy, and we can go from there. So until then, guys, I will report back to you next Wednesday, just like I did last season. Every Wednesday, new video will go up on Thursday morning, and you guys will be able to check it out. So until then, peace.